guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, make sure to hit the subscribe button. My name is Mackenzie and I am a sophomore fashion merchandising student at Kent State University, the #4 fashion school in the United States here in Kent, Ohio. And today we're going to be taking you along a little virtual tour of the fashion school. I also have my little Sophia here.
Hi guys.
And she is a freshman fashion design major, and because we are opposite majors, this is the fashion design and merchandising school, I figured I would take her here because she knows a little bit more information than me on some of the other like textile labs, the sewing machines, stuff like that, because we obviously are different majors. So we're gonna take you guys along. I know that I would have enjoyed seeing a video like this prior to coming to Kent. I know that because of Corona, things are really different and some of you guys might not be able to come and actually tour. So if you're interested in Kent's program, I will leave like a link down below for how you can start applying, stuff like that. And yeah, are you ready, Sophia?
I'm ready.
All right, we're masking up first because Rona. Welcome everybody. Alright, so there are 3 different floors in fashion school and we're going to take you on all 3. The first floor is where most merch classes are. Second floor is a little bit mixed. They've got merch design. It's also where you go for your advising appointments, and then the third floor is where a majority of fashion design classes are. Your actual labs are happening. So this is what you see when you first walk in. As you can tell, it's a really gorgeous building here. The architecture is really cool. And I'm going to take you guys along kind of where some of my classes were last year when I was a freshman. If you come over here to the right, we've got bathrooms. I would shoot a lot of pictures outside of this building, always bring my stuff and change in here. We've got stairs. And then over here, there's just like, you know, a big bulletin board with a bunch of stuff. And then this is actually where the fashion school library is. The fashion school library is really, really well known here. It's not open right now, but we will show you guys a little peek inside. So you'll use this library a lot when you are a freshman especially. There are a bunch of different resources in here. They've got all kinds of Vogue magazines. They've got magazines from the 50s, 60s, 70s. They date back a long time. And then we have a lot of things from WGSN and a bunch of other like really, really well-known fashion, I guess just resources in general in here. It's usually open, I believe, I don't know what the Corona hours are, but this used to be open every time that I was in the building, and I had an 8 a.m. class, so it opens pretty early. You can get work done in here, and there are a bunch of computers as well. Once you walk down this hallway, you get to a couple of different classrooms. This was actually where I had my fashion visuals lab class. There are really large tables in here, a bunch of different chairs, as you can tell. There's mannequins. Some sewing labs are in here, but like I said, I had visuals in this classroom, and most people do, which is a freshman sophomore level course. And then this is just a typical classroom, just like you would see in high school, except right now it's all moved around, obviously, because the max people that can be in here is 13. And then there are basically the same kind of classrooms. If you just keep walking down this hallway, everything wraps around in a square, and at the corners there are different lab stations. Over here, this is a different kind of lab. The one I just showed you was a fashion visuals lab, and this is where you would have fashion tech. And fashion tech is basically all online. You're learning the basis of Adobe products, the Adobe suite. You're learning Photoshop. You're learning Illustrator, all those different kinds of things. And the other class was a hands-on learning how to collage, learning lines, colors, things like that.
This year I haven't done tech yet, but for visuals, we did everything online. So we did like all the things that they would do hands-on. You had the option to do them with like magazines, but a lot of people I know use Photoshop and Illustrator to do the collages.
So Corona year's making it kind of like a double year of tech, but usually it would be like that. And then over here, you might have a fashion fabrics class in here. I'm in fashion fabrics online right now. I do not believe they're having this class at all in person, but we will walk over to that other window and you can see a bunch of fabrics hanging from the wall. Here is another look at the library. You come in here a lot for your Destination Kent first year class as well. And then here is the other door to get into the fashion tech / draping classroom. So as you can tell, it kind of looks like a museum in here, and that is because Kent has one of the most popular fashion museums in the United States, I believe. So we're gonna take you guys into the museum so that you guys can get a little inside scoop. If you are a student, it is free to come to the museum, and adults are $6. This is open to all OFA, Ohio, or anyone that wants to come here. You obviously usually come here on a college visit. So basically every single room in here is broken up by like a different gallery. And some of them they switch in and out, and others stay the same all the time. So we're starting out in the Paige Palmer gallery, and this is like technically the beginning of the timeline. In here you will see a bunch of garments from like the 40s, the 50s, well the 1800s,
Yeah, this one's
1840, 1850.
this person invented. And they've always kept, like, since the first time I came here, they had a timeline, but they've switched out the garments. So they keep it.
They keep rotating it so that it's different when you come here.
It's the same exhibit with the time period. And they give really cool like illustrations to give you reference on like
What's happening in the world at
like
that
the
time.
Eiffel Towers over there, or like the Wright brothers with the airplane, Model T.
You also come in here a lot for your first year experience class. They will have you do different scavenger hunts in here and really just have you get to know the fashion school, because this is such a famous museum in here. And they really want you to, you know, get to know your surroundings. So in here we have when World War I and II start happening. You can see that everything that people are wearing is a little bit more conservative. And then as the war finished, that's when women started showing their shoulders and stuff. She's even wearing a mask.
And then here, this is the last one. So there's like passage of the Civil Rights Act, and then it goes all the way to like the Columbine shooting.
So they switch these ones out a lot too. And this is what it would look like if you entered the main entrance. I take pictures a lot right outside of these doors, but we're gonna go up so that you guys can kind of look in here too. So in here, they highlight a bunch of different celebrities that became famous, popular over the years. I love that pink dress right there. All of this stuff is different. I haven't been up here this year, so it's cool to see couture and its influence. And obviously there are like different little blurbs so that you can read about what all of these pieces are and how Ken acquired them, because a lot of people donate stuff to this museum because it is so well known. So then if you come over here, we're entering the hippie stages. Two-piece sets are coming in. I mean, literally look at how iconic that is. More garments over here, little fish print. And this again is taking you through the global influence. What's going on in the world always reflects in what people wear. So this is during a time of war, the end of war, and it's when graphic tees really became popular. You can see patchwork pants. We've got cloaks, fun sleeves. I mean, I would wear that dress right now. And this is the Vietnam War time. And then if you come over here, they've got some shoes and accessories. Oh my God, look at that dress right there. I'm not exactly sure what this exhibit is, but
I think this is like a more modern designer, but Vincent Quevedo.
so cool in here. And there are a bunch of like fancier pieces. We've got gowns, dresses.
This one's actually has a face.
I mean, look at that, guys. How could you not want to go to fashion school watching this? Like, I remember the first time I came here, I was literally mesmerized. There's also a cute little museum store in here. They sell like little gifts and handmade trinkets in here. So now we are up on the second floor, and this is a mix of fashion merch and fashion design classes up here. So Sophia is going to show you guys some of the lab stations that she works at when she completes projects, and we'll show you guys where you go for advising appointments. There are a lot of fashion club meetings in this building as well. We'll kind of take you guys through so you can see. So if you had walked up the stairs instead of taking the elevator, this is where you would be. A lot of people come up here to work in their free time. Over here this year, there are a bunch of different like lab stations where you can come and you can sew. This is where Sophia always is.
I usually like being on this side. I've worked over on that side too, but on this side there's a lot of natural light. So I usually will work at this station or that station.
And look at, we've got a little sewing machine.
Yeah, there's everything you need.
Now last year when you were here, these were just like literal places to sit. Like, it was just chairs, and people would sit here in between their classes, do homework. I would sit here a lot and get like blog posts written in between class time.
You do have nice seating here though. I've like eaten lunch, like just sitting here.
Yep.
I'm gonna take a break.
But because of Corona, it's equipped for all of us design students who need a little extra time, like Sophia. But there are lots of seats up here too.
And then there's also 2 sergers. There's one on this side and there's one on that side too. And
what's a serger?
Are like on the inseam. This type of thing would be serged, but since it's obviously a sweater, it's not. But you always need like to serge your material.
Okay, serge your seams.
Yeah. So.
And this is where you would do it, and there's one on either side.
Yeah.
Basically, this side of the building is the exact same as this side of the building. And the architecture in here is so pretty. This is the auditorium. It's West Auditorium. I had a lot of classes in here last year, and this is basically what it looks like. Modista is one of our fashion clubs here at Kent, and they would hold their meetings in here, and so does FSO. Dress Up for Downs. A lot of different fashion clubs host in this auditorium right here, and a bunch of FYE, which is your first year experience classes, will come in here. I've spoken on a panel up here talking about being an influencer. This room gets used a lot. It doesn't seat too many, but
we also will hold the, like when they do the fashion show in person, I know they use this whole
stage
runway, and then they fill up all these chairs. Like when I came with my mom my junior year, so in 2018.
There were chairs back here.
Actually 2019. You can sit either here, and then they have a bunch of chairs like where the sewing machines are set up right now too.
To watch.
And we sat in that room.
Because typically Kent has one of the largest fashion shows held by students. There are tons of different people that come to it, and it's a really big deal, especially since Kent is such a well-respected fashion program. And it's very popular. However, last year it was obviously postponed due to Corona. It's unlikely that it will happen this year, but what Sophia was just talking about usually happens every single spring.
In person.
And it's in person, and many different design students showcase their work in it. All right, coming out of the auditorium, we've got even more seating over here. And if you look over here, we've just got like a little pretty display window. Usually this TV would be like playing stuff with updates and stuff.
It was the other day.
Yeah, usually it is, but not today. All right, and if you keep walking to the left, we've got more of those lab stations, more sewing machines and stuff for people to do extra work if they are design students. That kind of table is what they used to all be last year, and people would just sit there, like I said, to do extra work. Okay, if you come over on this hallway, this is where a lot of fashion merch classes are held. I honestly have not had any classes up here because I was a freshman last year, but a lot of the sophomore upper level classes, if things weren't online, would have been up here. And if you walk all the way down to this end of the hallway, this is actually where you go for your advising appointments. So it is required to have an advising appointment every single year, obviously. So this is where you would come. You can come in for walk-in advising appointments, and you can also just come in for your, like, every semester you have to have one. It's usually like 30 minutes long. You'll talk about study abroad. You also come up here if you need to meet with someone about your internship, job placement after college, and stuff like that. And then on the walls lining these are just like scholarship award plaques. And then over here, I remember I came here on my Kent visit, and I would like look over here. You get to see all of the different clubs. Modista I was a part of last year. This year I'm not a part of it just because things are virtual, and I was like, you know what? I need to focus my time on other things. But the National Retail Federation Student Association, we've got Dress Up for Downs, which is another super popular club here at Kent. And on all of these, they will leave like important dates, they leave contact information, and the names of all of the presidents and stuff like that. So here's another one called Kent Styles. We're upstairs. This is the 3rd floor, right? And I don't really come up here. Merch majors don't come up here that much, but design majors like live up here. So if you get off the elevator right here, this is what you see. Beautiful Sophia, and there are tons of lockers over here, which a bunch of design students keep their stuff in. And Sophia's gonna kind of give you guys a little tour. Women's bathroom.
And then here's a textile lab, which I haven't used yet this year, but a lot of design majors like use it, but we haven't had to yet.
Sophia's a freshman, for those of you wondering. Here's a little peek inside. We have a huge textile program here at Kent, so there are a lot of people that come in here for either whether you're design or you do have a textile minor. Embroidery machine.
That's the new 3D printer right there.
Wow. So, here's a little peek. Textile lab.
Oh, and there they're printing off masks that our visuals class had to right there.
That's kind of cool. So instead of doing the scarf, you guys did masks this year.
Yeah. And so
that's really fun. And if you look in here, there's all these different kinds of machines. And then if you come over here, usually these would be like sewing labs, but obviously things are looking a little different because of Rona. We've got lots of mannequins,
so
forms.
Here, this is my classroom where I have all my classes, and my workstation was actually the far corner with the girl working at right now. But they like spread out the desks kind of far. You always have to wear your mask. And my class is from 5:30 to 8.
Alrighty everybody, that is going to be all for this little virtual tour of the fashion school here at Ken. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this video was kind of short, but I don't know, I thought it would be something kind of fun and different to show you guys. We hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more videos of Sophia and I, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye guys!